Rightio, so I'm just mixing up this colour here and I'm going to kind of shoot the breeze about a few things that has been on my mind lately. So not really a paint video. I don't even know if I'm going to upload this one, so I just wanted to say these things. I think the world's sort of kind of been going crazy. I've been called some very extreme things by very close family members, not just one. They're calling me extremist, and it's like, dude, what are you on about? And then I'm like, I'm like it, because I'm actually a pretty intelligent type person, and I do like listen to a lot of philosophy and all that kind of stuff. And so I know that people, they actually just react to their environments, right? So for them to be saying these kind of things, it makes it, what have you been consuming for you to make you say that? Like white supremacist, far right. Like what, where are you, where's this coming from? Sorry, 456, I've got to get, it is just insane. And then last night, right, I thought, I'm kind of getting bored of just sitting down and playing games of an evening. I thought I'd resubscribe to Stan. It's a streaming platform here in Australia. And all this, you know, drag queen, weird ass sort of woke, you know, all this political stuff, can't be bothered with it, man. I just thought, there's one that came on, Louis Theroux. I always thought he was always pretty good. Anyway, I got 2 minutes into 474, where's that? 474. Sorry, there we are. I got 2 minutes into it, and they're basically trying to, it was just, my point is, I can see where they're coming from. So they're painting the entire MAGA movement with the brush of the extremists, you know, like if you go on any sort of political left or right or whatever, there are extreme people on the fringes of each. You can focus on that if you want, but you're really missing the big chunk of people in the middle who they have some grievances, you know. But when you just try to, like, so they're saying far right extremists, they're putting on like the racists and, you know, the bad people, you know, they're showing you the bad people on the extremes and then panning to a Trump rally and trying to sort of paint that anyone that follows Trump is, you know, an extremist. And personally, look, if I had to choose, I'd be choosing Trump out of him and Biden. I mean, you know, extreme thing to say, right? Yeah, like, yeah, I think a big part of it is, like, if you just zoom out and you don't, like, if you operate like objectively, a lot of Americans have just had enough of the establishment, you know what I mean? So they're going for an outsider for them. And a lot of the people, for one too, a lot of these people, they were the same people that voted for Obama, you know, so they're not racist. I think it's just a gross, you know, yeah, mischaracterization of the actual facts. And it's real. I think it's really dangerous. And this country here in Australia, it's actually extremely woke, and the city that I'm in is extremely woke. So as soon as you show any inkling of like conservatism, you're branded like literally Hitler, even though Hitler was a leftist. Like the Nazis were left, you know that. Most people don't even know that. So Nazi is National Socialist. So a lot of people don't even know that. They've gaslit you and tried to make you think that they're on the right, but they're actually not. To me, what being on the right means, it's like having core values that don't change, you know, like Christianity. They are making more and more sense every day. 443. Yeah, and it's like these woke people on the left, they're like, oh, these stupid Christians believing in the end of times. But the climate's, you know, like the climate, end of times, you know, it's like, you kind of, you know better than them, you know. 13.2. So yeah, I don't know, it's just, I just can't do it. I just can't do that woke garbage. I don't know what else to say, but I just wanted to get that off my chest. And there's so much more to it, but I'm actually a very a deep thinker and very empathetic person. So whilst I am conservative, you know, the lefts try to sort of claim that they are the empathetic ones, but they definitely are not. Do not buy that facade. Some of them may be, but from my experience, because I grew up in a very left-wing family, we were taught to think different, you know, until you actually think different than them, and then you'll find the real wrath of the leftists, and they are not empathetic at all. They will never actually take the time in a rational debate and say, why have you come to that decision? No, they'll just throw out an insult, and as far as they're concerned, they've taken the moral high ground, and then there's nothing else to be debated, because they're right and you're the bad evil man, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's just, I don't know. They're very, you know, not genuine, having a genuine debate, you know. Yeah, and you got to call it out. You know, I know I sound like I'm rambling, but it's that they are not the good guys, you know, the extreme ones anyway. Like, to be called a white supremacist, like, what are you on about? I don't think there are any. I mean, there might be, like, I don't know, like, it's just, what's, I'm an everyday dude, like, what do you want about? This entire shop here I'm working at, it's full of Asian people, and I love them all, like, we get along great. Where is this coming from? And like I said, it actually says more about them and what they're consuming, what they're watching and believing, you know, and a big part of it is their media. They're big, fat, lying scumbags. I didn't buy that whole COVID narrative. I regretted following the Iraq War and all that. Like, I said to myself after that, I am not so usually when the worst things happen, I've found, is when left and right agree. Left and right agreed pretty much on COVID, mainly, you know, at the start at least. So that, to me, that was a red flag. 6.7. It's sort of hard to talk and mix up a colour at the same time. Perhaps not the best thing that I should be doing at the moment. 6.7 and 436 is the next one. There we go, last tinter. 2.4. So I'm going to do a spray out of this colour when I'm spraying it, so I've got it in my library, 49, but it's not going to need a lot of, it's not going to need a lot of colour on this bonnet, because we're just doing a bonnet. We're just doing it just to see how it comes up. We might end up doing the rest of the car if they're happy with it, but I found a little cut through. Originally they just wanted me to clear it, but I think they've tried polishing it up the front, and they must have sanded it, because as soon as I hit it with 800 grit, bang, it just cut straight through. But yeah, what else do I want to talk about? I was even thinking of leaving this country. Like, that was actually another thing. So it started off like, because I'm not part of the mainstream, like, I'm so outside of that sphere. I don't, like, the only mainstream thing that I follow in Australia is the AFL, and even then I actually don't even watch it. I just listen to SEN Sports on YouTube. Like, they upload their radio show onto their YouTube channel, and I kind of, like, it's strange, it sounds weird, but like, I don't even watch footy anymore. I might watch the odd game, but generally let down by it being pretty crappy. I don't really enjoy it as much as what I used to, but yeah, that's my only real connection with mainstream Australia. I don't watch any news, any of the TV, and it led me to sort of feel disconnected from Australia and Australians. And that sort of made me feel a little bit isolated at the start, but then after a while I'm like, you know what? If this is what mainstream, like, sometimes I get a glimpse of what mainstream Australia is like, and I'm like, I'm kind of glad that I'm not part of that, you know? It's actually good to, yeah, just be a true independent thinker, and yeah, not just follow whatever current thing is, you know? But yeah, after being called those extreme things by very close family members, like, I came back here from Perth to be close to my family, so that, you know, when my child is growing up, that she could be closer to them, and then I come back and get treated like shit by them, you know. And I enter into conversations with people with good faith, if you know what I mean. So I don't say anything with ill intentions. I don't say anything to try and, you know, get one over on anybody. You're happy, you're welcome to disagree with me, but do it in a polite manner. You know, the way that they deal with disagreements is very, very, probably nearly childish. And it's oh no, come on, I hate these pots. All right, good luck. I mixed a bit more up than what I needed. I don't usually do that. Must be busy gas bagging. Yeah, so it's just family issues, you know, and then it's like, well, if my family's going to be like that to me, I don't really want to be around them anymore. And then if I don't want to be around them anymore, where do I want to be? Like, I'm pretty happy here in Melbourne, but there's just something about this place. It's just it's like slowly and slowly just getting worse and worse and worse. And again, like, I'm not against any immigration, but you know, they've got this housing crisis where housing's so expensive. Like, the people that are here can't even afford it, you know. There's, you know, really hard to get a rental, really, like, and to buy into the market. The prices are so inflated, and yet what do? They just let another 1 million people in 2 years. Like, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to say that we've got a shortage of houses, so like, increasing the demand is good, you know, without increasing the supply. Like, come on, that's like first grade economics, you know. So I just don't trust that any politician has anyone's, well, yeah, it's like they're just serving themselves. And all the bullshit that we actually fight about, I don't think they actually care about that. I just think that they care about themselves and their money. And yeah, I don't actually think that they have the greater, you know, good of the nation in their heart. And I think it's probably the same in America, but yeah, don't trust any politician, anybody. They're lying scumbags. And I know, like, some people on the left, they sort of switch off because they think their team's in, you know. But I don't trust any of them. They've all proven to be lying scumbags. But yeah, I don't know. I guess that's most of what I wanted to say. And if you're still watching, awesome. So this is what we've got here. We've got this bonnet to clear. Well, like I say, I do have to put a little bit of color on it. So originally, I didn't even see this until I prep soldered it, but there's a very, very light cut through. It only cut through the clear, just touched into the base coat. But it's still, you can't clear over that. And then originally I was just gonna clear over those stone tips there, but then I'm like, look, if I'm mixing up color, I may as well fix them. So I did put a little bit of UV body filler in there. So I ran out of masking tape. Who's this?